This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 10/15/20. Get your money off to the IRS and get your tax return filed. Today is the day. This is show number 138. So Nick, it's Thursday. It's that magical day where we get weekly initial jobless claims. And what's happening there?
Yeah, we had the claims report this morning at 8:30. It looks like they increased a little bit by 53,000, came in at 898,000 this week. The expectations, I think, were for 830,000. So the number rose a bit. So you want to be a little bit aware of that. Continuing claims, though, did decrease to 10 million from a revised count of around 11.18 million. So that's a little bit better there. But again, it's slow trekking. And again, you got to get these economies, especially in the blue states, to start to open up. And these numbers will improve pretty quickly.
And Governor Cuomo of New York, Andrew Cuomo, of nursing home fame, he was caught on a tape with somebody saying that the lockdowns aren't based on science, that they're based on fear. I don't know whose fear it is. The fear of Trump getting elected? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but I did hear that. And, again, it just goes to show you the politics that are in play this year. It's really, in my opinion, it's disheartening. It's sickening, to be truthful, but it's going on, and everybody should be aware of it.
Yep. And that means that if you're in a blue state and you have the ability to get to a state that cares more about your ability to work, might want to consider it. So we've had a bit of a pullback since Monday?
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a pullback, and I like it. That's exactly what I like to see. Markets got a bit overbought. Monday we had a rally. As you know, when we get Monday rallies, we often see the markets will do a lot of backing and filling the rest of the week. So I believe, the sell-off that we've seen here is probably due to options expiration. But the market, in my opinion, looks like it's poised to go higher now. And it's setting up very, very nicely. And I love the pullback. I wish we'd get a little bit more of it. I'm not sure we will. But this is setting up. This is setting up for a nice little run again to new highs.
Yeah, well, it's totally flying in the face of intuition, counterintuitive. Everyone believes that regardless what happens here after the election, we're going to devolve into total complete chaos, rioting in the streets, blood in the streets, and somehow the market just not seeing it this way.
Yeah, I don't see it either right now. I mean, the charts are really what I follow, and right now the market rallying the way it has, and I was looking for a September swoon. I was looking for the markets to come in. We had a 10% NASDAQ correction basically in 20 days, 20 calendar days, and then the markets have rebounded back, and that's a good sign. I mean, to tell you the truth, when you see stocks able to get back above their moving averages like they have recently, and now they're basically testing the old highs, and we saw strength also in the Russell 2000. These are all very, very good bullish indications near term.
Yeah, agreed. And you did warn us. I remember the week leading up to that little 10% bump, you were saying time to be careful. Caution is the byword. Cover yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Right around late August, I said you'd start being, get into caution mode, and that, 10% correction in 20 calendar days is a pretty sharp correction. So, or pretty sharp pullback. I know we call 20% a correction, but 10% basically to the penny was pretty sharp. And again, it's just reading the charts, watching what's going on. You watch the froth out there in the market, which there's still plenty of. But nice little pullback this week, and good sell off this morning. And I think we're setting up for a buying opportunity right now.
All right, so we're setting up for buying opportunity, and let's talk about gold and silver. Up yesterday pretty strongly. Today around flat, at least for gold, up a couple cents.
Yeah, so if you take a look at gold futures today, they're down $1.20 right now, sitting at around 1906. Take a look at silver futures this morning. We're down 25 cents, but 1% pullback there. Nothing terrible. I actually love the fact that they're just going sideways, doing a lot of just backing and filling. And this is the kind of action you want want to see if you're bullish the metals. And again, I think if the market starts to make a move, the metals go with it.
All right, and we will see what happens there. Copper, you're still feeling the same way about that too, right?
Copper is one of my favorites. I think copper is going significantly higher. Right now, it's just been in a consolidation pattern since September, much like everything else. You could even make a case copper's been in a consolidation pattern since July, just at the high range right now, but it's setting up perfectly for more upside. And I've had some really good trades this year in Rio Tinto, Southern Copper, Freeport McMoran. I just did another option play in Southern Copper. So it's been a really good winner. And again, that's the gift that keeps on giving.
All right, we like it. And finally, got a question from listener Jim about SPACs, blank check companies, special purpose acquisition companies. What's your take on them, Nick?
Yeah, I don't love them. You're getting quite a bit of them coming public now, and it's just really a way for these companies to have an easier IPO process. They don't have to go through the stringent regulations of filing for an IPO. Probably a lot less in fees as well, but we are getting a lot of what we call special purpose acquisition companies to come public now. And, I think that's what we call a little bit of froth in the market. So we've had quite a few of them. I suppose that's getting popular. We'll get some more of them going forward. But if you get, too much or too many of these type of companies in here, and they're basically shell companies, and, then you got to be careful. But it looks like you get a lot of the Robinhood traders jump on board these names. You want to be a little bit careful if you get too many of them. I don't mind them at the moment. You'll see some of them carry very, very good volume. Some of them are illiquid. So you got to be careful, and you got to really look into them very, very closely when trying to trade these stocks.
Yeah, well, it's hard. How do you make a judgment on value? There is no way.
You don't. Yeah, there's no way to do it. But what you do is you watch the chart patterns, and you watch and make sure there's good volume in there. You watch a little bit of history. So if you're going to trade a SPAC, for me, I couldn't touch anything. I won't even touch an IPO that just comes public because I just really don't have any chart knowledge. So for me, if I'm going to trade something, I need to have some time as a public company. This way I can look at moving averages. I can look at patterns. I can look at, where the institutions are sitting on the charts. Without that, I really don't do anything. So I have not done a lot of trading in these so-called SPACs.
Right, so one other thing, and this is from Bill, another listener, wants to know what you think about stimulus. Is it going to happen now, or are we just going to have to wait till after the election?
Well, I mean, at some point you would think it would happen. I think right now we have just a lot of politics in play. So if not getting a stimulus deal tells somebody that it could hurt the Republicans, I don't think a deal is going to happen. President Trump has upped his ante today, saying he'd even look for a bigger deal, provided the money goes into the right places. Looks like Nancy Pelosi has pulled back. So honestly, I don't know if we're going to get a deal or not. But, usually when push comes to shove and the people are screaming, they're going to get something done on both sides. So I would say the likelihood of a deal happening is probably 60-40 before the election.
60-40 likelihood of it happening, huh? You think it's that high?
Yeah, I
really?
do. I think it's 60-40. It's not the highest of odds, but it is favorable. And you have to just think at this stage of the game, the politicians on both sides want it. They need it. So, we're not going to come to a happy medium. I mean, I think Nancy Pelosi just blasted Wolf Blitzer the other day.
I saw that.
And, I've never seen anything like that. So she may have had her hand forced now when CNN is even questioning what she's doing.
Yeah, that's, what is the world coming to, man? That's got to be Armageddon for her. Well, 60-40 means it's more likely than not,
yes.
Better than 50-50. I am of the opinion that no politician was ever not reelected because he gave away too much free money. And based on that, I think we can expect it. But there's a lot of histrionics, a lot of drama around it. And what's going to be the signal? Is the market going to react favorably favorably to stimulus, Nick, or does it not matter?
Yeah, I think the market will react favorable to stimulus because you're going to just get more money in the system. I mean, we're not talking about, $1 billion anymore, which used to be a lot. Now we're talking maybe 1.8 trillion, possibly even more. So, yeah, the market will act favorable to any kind of stimulus deal because that's a lot of money. If you leverage out that money, just think about it. That's a lot of money that has to go somewhere. And the only place it goes is into the stock market.
Hey, and I have a great idea. They should rename it the Robinhood Account Holder Relief Act. And they should give anybody with a Robinhood account should get $10,000 cash. And then they can put it into SPACs and make a fortune, right?
Well, you put it out there. That may happen. You never know.
Well, like stranger things have happened. I mean, it's helicopter money. So you might as well, if you're not going to buy stocks at the Federal Reserve, you might as well give the money to the people who are, which is basically what's been happening. So give it to some of the little guys and let them share in the fun.
Yeah. I mean, basically right now, if you look at the markets, they're telling you that something's going to get done. And, if charts fall apart, then I would obviously reverse my stance there. But the markets are telling us that there's likelihood of something getting done here.
Yeah, I am tending to agree with you, Nick. I mean, it's just she's holding out to get all this other garbage, socialist garbage. But the very act of stimulus is pure socialism. So holding out for even more socialism on top of socialism doesn't seem like a winning strategy. And her own party is rebelling against her. So we're going to see a lot of fireworks and a lot of fun in the next week or two, but it's probably going to happen.
Yeah, I think it'll happen. And I do think we're going to see a lot of fireworks going forward. I told that to my trading group just the other day. I said, you're going to start to hear things, and I don't know what you'll hear, but you're going to start to hear things going forward as this election gets closer. And sure enough, we've seen so many new revelations come to light over the last few days. So it's been unlike anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, hey, it really teaches you a lesson, Nick. Before you go, if you're going to go get a computer fixed, destroy the hard drive, reformat it, and because you don't know what's on there, you have no idea. Like I've got 20 some odd years worth of tax returns on my computer. I've got probably 15 or 20 years of account data from every credit card, every bank account I've ever had, and business records. So if you don't want that getting into somebody else's hand, A, the first thing is encrypt it, and B, it's like if your computer goes bad, don't get it fixed. Don't take it to your local neighborhood Mac repair shop. And it was funny, the guy's name was Mac, and I can't remember his last name, but he's Scottish, and he fixes Macs. So you got to be careful of people named Mac who fix Macs, right?
I guess so. At least if you got something to hide, you better be careful.
Everybody's got something to hide, Nick, that they don't want anyone in the world to know about. We used to in the good old days of PCs before it became so complex, we would just reformat those hard drives regularly and restore them to wipe out all the garbage. But now you've got tens of millions of files on your hard drive. You don't know what's on there. You have no idea whatsoever. So it's always a good idea to basically wipe your hard drive every so often and then restore it so you can get rid of a lot of the garbage that's there. Often on PCs, it will speed it up. Macs, not so much because they're better buffered, cached. But anyway, I don't want to get into computers. Not what it's about. So make sure you go take a look at Nick's site. That's inthemoneystocks.com. Take a look at the Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz. Make sure you take a look at Nick's trading record on the website and write us with more of your questions, KL@KerryLutz.com. And Nick will conclude tomorrow on Friday. I have a feeling we come back on Monday, there is going to be major fireworks, like, quote, the president, like you've never seen before.
I'm sure there will be.
And so concludes another episode of Daily Market Wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. Be sure to go to his website, inthemoneystocks.com. Don't forget the Twitter feeds at ITMS and at Nick Santiago01.